Um, there's been a demand from all of these bloggers to cover the palace since the president stepped into office June 30, and knowing the context of how the president was elected, and a major factor also was the help of the bloggers who helped the president, because we know that during the elections wala namang pera ang presidente para i-place ng ads sa mga TV, so walang pera yung kampanya, and talagang umasa ang campaign team sa mga vloggers. And kaya maraming ding nag-demand na kung pwede. So, of course, when I was appointed here, I had to talk to MPC. I had to know how things were being run here in PCOO and yung tradition ng MPC. So I got so many versions about the tradition. One was that MPC is a closed group, very traditional. They don't allow outsiders. At ito yung nakasanayan. The bloggers come in because there's an evolution of the medium. And the bloggers always tell me, and they always tell me about Article 3, Section 4 of the Constitution. And they ask for freedom of expression, freedom to cover. That's the reason why we get that freedom of information now. They tell me about FOI, and then so the irony of not allowing them, ganon. So sabi ko na there's a big possibility after consultation. So it has, kailangan mag-usap muna yung different sectors of society, like the media, the bloggers themselves, and maybe men and women of law. Maybe they should talk about it. Pero ako, dito sa PCOO, I would like to believe that I'm a champion of one of the champions of freedom of expression. I want people to be able to express themselves freely, say their own opinions, and Section 3, Article 3, Section 4 of the Constitution.
Sir, some would point out that the main difference between media, mainstream media, and bloggers is that the media have editors, and then they're accountable to...
Yeah, maybe the bloggers, since they work independently, then they have different standards. So that's one of those things, or the nuances that you have to, I guess, deal with, and you have to talk about. Because since it's a new way of disseminating information, and it's a debate. I'm sure it's being talked about in schools.
Sir, if there's a plan to have them accredited, what standards will you impose on the bloggers? Parang any blogger can apply for accreditation.
It's a good question. I think that the media, the traditional media, should be there. I think the stakeholders or the interest group should be there. Maybe the bloggers themselves should be there. Maybe academe should be there. Maybe the lawyers, the women, the men and women of law should be there to study this. It's something new, and in every change of technology, in every change for that matter, there will always be resistance, and there will always be friction.
But sir, how would you do it? Since you're PCO secretary,
I would consult with everyone. I think that's the safest way to do it. You have to consult with everyone because we are in a democracy.
Will you require them, for example, to not be anonymous?
They shouldn't be anonymous.
If they're accredited.
Of course, yeah. You should. Dapat may pangalan sila, di ba? Hindi naman pwedeng XYZ blog and then you don't know when they were born, or you don't even know where they live.
Sir, technically anyone can be a blogger.
Yeah. So that's why they have to have a personality. Because how can you sue them for libel if they say something wrong? So those are the things. I mean, merong mga bagay na dapat din maintindihan ng mga bloggers na kailangan they're responsible. They're accountable also.
Sir, what's the
TV5.
added value of having bloggers cover the palace?
I
like
think
NPC?
I think the added value there is well, then again, we go back to that freedom of expression. We go back to freedom of information. We go back to our freedom to express our own opinions. We go back to the development of technology. So we're in interesting times wherein we are seeing bloggers with names become bigger than anyone, like even bigger than me in social space, bigger than you, bigger than. So it's a phenomenon that we have to embrace. At the same time, we also have to I'm not saying we shouldn't control it, but it is something that we should study, and we should get all of the ideas from different interest groups.
Sir, right now, what is the PCO's relationship with the bloggers?
Right now, the relationship of the Duterte camp to those bloggers who have helped him in the campaign is there. It's not something that we are hiding. It's not something that we suppress. I mean, how can you suppress people who support you, diba? It's there. It's not that nice.
Sir, do you pay them government funds?
There's no funds that are being paid for these bloggers. They just they ask for accreditation to attend, for example, China. They go to Singapore, and of course they're supporters of the president. So just like any businessman who's a supporter of the president who asks for accreditation to be a delegate, then we give
As
them.
for their delegates of the government?
Not really delegates. Well, I suppose you have to be a delegate to be able to see where the president is going. But of course, you can't really go inside where the president is holding his bilateral meetings. But
So, sir, are they classified as media delegation or government delegation when they attend these foreign trips?
Social media. Yeah, so social media supporters of the president.
As part of the official delegation?
Yeah, as part of the
So, sir,
delegation.
does the PCO arrange these trips for them? Their hotel?
No,
their...
no. They what they do is they apply for accreditation, and then okay, if you think that you, of course we have to look at their names kung talagang may kaibigan ba sila sa loob ng gobyerno, if they were really part of that campaign that they helped the president. And most of them, they know most of the secretaries, they know most of the people who helped in the campaign because they helped the campaign themselves.
So, sir, how many do you usually bring with you?
Depends on how many apply.
And how does the accreditation process work? What are the requirements? What do they have to do in order to accredit?
As long as they know, kasi ganito yun eh. You cover the campaign, and you know some of the people who helped the president, right? And if they apply and they're friends of the camp, and the government's not spending money for them, then we don't see any reason why they shouldn't go.
So they spend for their own airfare, their own hotels?
I mean, parang ano lang yan eh, parang mga businessman, mga kaibigan na pupunta, gusto mong makita, gusto maramdaman kung anong...
And yet you say that they're under social media delegation of the government?
Not of the government, no.
So, social media of what?
Just like you. Like
Okay.
you apply and then you go, like media, di ba?
So yun nga, we are media delegation kasi.
You're not the media. Yes, social media, which is bloggers. Essentially bloggers. I mean, if they can apply, if they have a good following and they're supporters of the president, or maybe even the yellows, if they apply, I'll give them accreditation. They can join.
So any blogger?
Any blogger who has a name and who is not anonymous. Of course, kung hindi mo naman kilala yung tao, kung wala na, kung control, then, wala naman siguro control, mag-a-apply din, di ba?
We don't know, sir.
Huh?
We don't know because you're saying anyone can apply. Anyone with the hits,
I
anyone
mean,
with
the troll
engagement.
does not have a face, eh, di ba? usually they don't have faces. Usually they don't really exist. They don't have real birth certificates in a way that.
But
I
sir,
mean,
some do.
they're-
Some do. Some are real people actually.
they can apply. We'll see kung ano nila. Kung ano.
Sir, isn't the government bothered by the fact that many of these or some of these bloggers publish news that could be alarmist or inaccurate or even just plain
Fake news.
fake news or even nagmumura, insulting people, hate speech driven even? Isn't the government bothered by this? Now you're giving them a platform.
No, it's their own
further-
platform to begin with. They're not using government platform. They're not using our PTV4, our Radyo ng Bayan. They're not using our Presidential Communications Facebook page. They're on their own. I mean, they just want access the same way that we give information to everyone who wants information through FOI. You know, we're very transparent. As I said, any blogger, the next trip of the president, wherever it is, you come to me if you're a blogger for the opposition, then, or if you're a plain blogger, a neutral, or if you're a blogger for Duterte, if you're a blogger for Kalaban or anyone, then you're free. We'll look at your application. But you're right on the criteria. So we should really come up with a general criteria for social media bloggers we think are karapat-dapat.